Warning. It is the opinion of the Forestry Productions LLC and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language. Hi, hello, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to talk to some real people about some real things, living real lives, doing real stuff. This is the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by his royal dubness, Jalen Dub Justin Richardson, the terrific Tom Lavelle, and our guest today is the one, the only, sausage Rachael Ocelus. You can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can handle us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. And you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe so my wife leaves me hell alone about doing the show. Tom, are you ready to get this thing started?
I am ready.
Very nice. Jalen Dub, you ready to go?
I am also.
Very nice. Very good. All right. Well, let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform. With new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
All right. So let me tell you a little something about our guest today, Sausage Ocelus. So you've known Rachael for a number of years, met her through, we'll just say, a third-party affiliate, right? And, always thought that there's one thing, I feel one thing that I've always admired about Rachael is that she's unique, right? But unique in a way that she's not trying to be anybody else but herself. You know what I mean? She's very assured in who she is. She's confident. She has her own kind of swag. Her shoe game is fucking top of the charts. Pretty damn good. But I'll tell you this. I mean, she's also just like a nice person, right? And one person who I know is just an extremely incredible judge of character is the one, the only, John Joseph Bell the third, right? He has always been a big fan of sausage. And so when I found out she was a listener of the show and a fan of the show and early doors, I will say this, and I'll have to apologize to her officially, is that Alex was on the show, right? And Alex, my little brother, and he had brought up Rachael. I think this might've been because we did a 4-part series with him, the month of Alex, still regret it to this day. And we did a 4-part series that was last March, so almost a year ago. Did a 4-part series with Alex, and he had said that Rachael, he brought up Rachael, and then he said, fan of the show, listener to the show. And I was like, or a friend of the show. And I was like, no, she's not. And he's like, what? She's not? I was like, yeah, she doesn't subscribe to us on any platforms. Then that episode, Rachael took a video of herself watching me say that, right? And then posted it. So, kind of made me eat my words a little bit, but I was happy that, she likes the show, follows the show and all that stuff. Justin, I know she is one of your NDub brethren. She's from the less celebrated 7th in Church, but what are your thoughts on old sausage?
Yeah. I've seen many a girl walk out of the Ziegler house crying and Rachel's never one of them.
Wow.
You gotta be a tough broad, because if you can get I was sitting at I hadn't seen her in I don't know 15 years, and I was sitting at a picnic table at this North Wales reunion we had.
Okay.
She just walks up and she's like, "What's up?"
Bad worm.
Sits down at the table. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I like this chick. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I forgot she's cool.
Nice. Love it. Yep. And I guess she's been hanging out with Steve a lot. She's using that type of language. So yeah, she's been hanging out with Steve way too damn much. Tom, I think you have the same affiliation with Rachel that I do. What are your thoughts about having her on the show today?
I'm excited. I'm excited for this episode. Rachel's a cool chick, and I want to get to know her a little bit better, because I know Rachel, but I don't really know Rachel. And so I feel like this episode, not only will I, but the audience will get to know her a little bit better on a deeper level.
Yep. Well, very nice. So that being said, I'm very happy that she was formerly on the Enda Roundtable Part 3, The Next Generation, had a stellar performance there, so much that she was asked to be a guest host or a co-host on the Working Perspectives Podcast Weekend Poppin', which is available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. So super excited that she decided to come on the show, and super happy she's here. And like, as always, I judge the caliber of the show by the people who listen to it and watch it and follow it along. So when I heard she was a fan and a listener, it was really, it was really great to hear, because I think she's a stellar person. Rachel, before we get started, I have a number of questions to ask you. 1, how do you like your Cheetos, crunchy or puffed? 2, do you like Butterfingers? And 3, who do you prefer, Biggie or Tupac? Please answer those.
Okay. I kind of like each Cheeto in different settings, but I would say in more recent years, probably crunchy.
Very nice.
It's just popped up in my life more often.
Suck it, j-dub.
Yep. J-Dub, another one.
It's still
Right
the,
in your fucking face, Justin.
still the only one,
Yep. And well, as
except for one.
yeah, you do have one on the board, but
It's the only one.
the only
It's
one.
the only piece of shit I brought onto this show.
yeah,
Mm.
fancy that. And then, okay, the second question, Butterfingers, do you like them?
I like them. They're not my favorite of the canned like chocolate variety at all. I wouldn't rank them high, but I'll enjoy them. Mm,
Would they make your top 3?
no.
Yeah. Thank you. Very good. Very good.
I never said top 3. All right.
Top 5.
Probably not.
Top 8.
I guess.
We're begging.
Top
We're
8.
begging now.
I guess
Come
probably
on.
top
There's
8.
a lot of candy out there, and they've really grown candy recently, in the spectrum of candy. It's really expanded. So if it's still in the top 8 and it's been around that long, just saying, Butterfinger's a quality candy. All right.
It gets
So if
stuck
you
in
had
your
a
teeth.
choice of
Yeah, it gets
all
stuck
the candy
everywhere.
It's not worth it. Butterfinger is good, but it has a too high.
You got to try the bite.
You got to pay a price for it. It gets
Work
stuck
to
in your
reward
teeth.
ratio.
Yeah, it's like Swedish fish. They're not worth
Yeah.
it anymore.
Oh,
Is the
Yeah.
juice worth the squeeze? Is
Yeah.
There it is.
the crumble worth the toothache for Butterfinger?
They
Not
are a
worth it.
cavity waiting to happen. Worst candy ever, now and laters. Oh no, actually Good and Plenty. But both of
Ugh.
them suck.
Yeah, not a good and plenty.
Oh,
was never-
whoever likes Good and Plenty is a fucking chode bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad and too much. They should change the name.
Ugh.
Let's change it to no thanks.
Yeah. All right, Justin, what were you gonna say?
No, I was agreeing. But good and plenty's are garbage. Anything with coconut's garbage.
Don't know if
I'm not a
think you're
coconut
off
guy.
on that
I
one.
don't know if I'm with you
Hate
there.
it. They're never Mounds.
Yeah. Oh, Mounds, Almond Joy.
Almond Joy.
Oh, Almond Joys are phenomenal.
I know
love
I'm getting
Almond
older
Joy.
because I enjoy Almond Joy is one of my tops now.
I'm a big
Personal
Almond Joy
tops.
fan. I've always been an Almond Joy guy. You got to
Me
do the
too.
Almond Joy because the Mounds is dark chocolate. And I'll tell you right now, dark chocolate sucks. It fucking
Like dark
sucks.
chocolate.
It's fucking burnt.
Whoa.
It's
That's
burnt
crazy.
fucking chocolate.
Burnt.
I could eat
Burnt
just
fucking
dark chocolate.
chocolate. You're out of your fucking dick. All
I like
right.
it bitter.
Burnt fucking chocolate. It's gross.
Healthy.
Who gives a dick?
Healthy
All
for
right.
you.
Yep. And then
Healthier.
sausage. Last question: Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie.
Biggie, all the way. Love it.
Yeah.
Love
Not a
Justin, what are you? Biggie
no
or Tupac?
deliberation.
Biggie.
Biggie. Tom.
I mean, I am Biggie, but it's just like I don't think it's like, I think maybe we've all thought of this and gone with Biggie. I think it's not as like runaway as we're maybe all claiming. Like,
Yeah,
I never said it. I mean, it's
not
not
by a
like,
well,
large
we've kind of
margin.
just said Biggie, of course, Biggie.
Yeah,
Biggie,
it feels
you know what I
that
mean?
way.
yeah,
I get
but
you.
Biggie's the obvious choice, I would say. His flow's too sick. Honey's
His
play
flow
me
is
close.
incredible.
Honey's play me close like butter play toast. Come on, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Instead of war on poverty, they got a war on drugs so the police can bother me.
Who cares?
Tupac
Who
makes me
cares?
sad.
Yeah,
Your mama.
yeah. All right. So very nice.
California love.
Side note, Alan
that
Bach
song.
and Jason Bowers were a tag team, and that was our entrance music. Just to let you know.
What was their tag team name?
I forget, but they came out in wife beaters and jean shorts. So it had to be something Stone Cold related. So let's keep it moving. Sausage, thanks for coming on. So for those that haven't listened to The Weekend Poppin', we've gone over the origin of the name Sausage. It is one time when we were hanging out and I threw bacon. You were vegan or
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
I would never be a vegan.
Yep, you're total vegetarian at this time, and I whacked you in the face with some pork product, and you were called Bacon Ocelus for a second, and then the man, the myth, the legend, John Joseph Bell III, called you Sausage Ocelus, and then
I think it
catchy
just
let
developed.
go.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was I don't even want to say it, sausage, but okay, we'll keep going. So
I mean,
it was
is it
another.
there?
You can always cut it.
It was no, it's not nice. It was another nickname that it was non-founded. It wasn't like a good nickname. Do you remember the other nickname you had?
Oh yeah, stupid slut. I remember we always used to call her stupid slut.
No, we called her the gay button. All right, she was.
oh, I thought I came up with that. Like
Yeah.
my first
you
appearance.
did. It was
Yeah.
great. You're actually
That's
that
fine.
your joke changed the show, the landscape of the show. For our listeners now, you know that when recording The Weekend Poppin', after the end, like after D Block, we would cut it off, and there'd be a 5-second song run, and then the show would end. Right? There's no ad read on the Poppin'. But now, because Sausage made this joke and we missed it because I'd ended the recording, I leave the recording on after D Block and after the music's done. And then, we'll yuck it up a little bit, say some stupid shit, and then we'll be on our way.
That's
So
why
then-
you did that?
Yeah, because we
Oh,
missed
cool.
because Sausage, that joke was so fucking funny
I know,
and we
it was
missed
really-
it, and I was so
really
fucking
hit.
mad. Because dude, if we would have clipped that, I'm telling you right now, Sausage, you're turning I've clipped, there's 3, I think we have 4 videos as of now that have gone over 1,000 views on YouTube, right? And you're in 3 of them. So
Ooh.
yeah, I'm just saying, you hit it, Sausage. You know what you're doing. So very nice. So let's keep it going. We got a lot to cover here. Super excited about this. So Sausage, you were born and raised in the N-Dub, North Willie. We've talked about it on previous shows. You lived on Main Street in North Willie for a while. Then you forced your mom to move to 7th and Church to live next to a softball friend whose dogs killed your cat, Pudgy.
Yes.
One love Pudge. Right? Someone's been listening to the show. That's your boy.
I'm trying to pour one out, but it's not
Pour one out
catching.
for the Pudge. What are you drinking, Sausage?
Well, starting with red wine that I'm not finished, and then I have this. Can't see.
Put it in front of your face. There you go.
Tired hands.
All right.
Whoa,
Uh,
Nice.
You can still
you
can't-
fancy.
What is that? High proof or what is it?
It is 7
Whoa.
wet gravity
Wet gravity. Love it. Shout
hazy India Pale Ale.
out. Ugh, you're an IPA person, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I just like going hard. If I'm
I would
if I'm
love-
doing it, go all the way.
Right. Well, me and Tom used to live with Pete. It was very interesting, because he would always be home when we were working, and we would come home, and just to see what his drink of choice was at that time. It was always he would go through phases, right? There was a cheap whiskey phase for a while, but then there was a limoncello, orange cello phase. Tom, you remember
Jeez.
that? And then there was a Four
Do I?
Loko phase.
had that.
That was a rough one.
I
You
had
know,
a
I
rough
think there
one
was
of
a
those as
wine
well.
phase too.
total wine phase that ended up on the couch.
Big on wine.
Yeah. Hey, what do you drop there?
Wine's tight.
What
I
kind?
I rock the black little juice box.
Put it in front of your face.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the little juice boxes.
Some of the finest box wine there is.
Nice.
It's
Wait,
good for portion control.
they sell
Yeah,
it
little
in
boy.
like in the little gimmicks.
Yeah, it's a little,
Nice.
it's a little half bottle in a
You
juice
know,
box.
for when you need to drive.
That looks like a coconut water.
It does. It's exactly the same material as a coconut water.
Very cool. And it's not like rot gut
No,
rot.
it's not terrible.
Whatever.
It's
black
Cabernet
box?
Sauvignon. Yeah,
That's some
black
top
box.
shelf boxed wine right there,
It's
man.
a Cabernet Sauvignon.
You get
All right.
2 of those.
Yeah, 2 of those, and you're fucking hitting it pretty
My
sweet.
local Whole Foods. Me and the lady look at each other once a week.
Ooh, very nice. I'll tell you
It's like
this.
this
guys.
one kid comes in and buys 2 juice boxes of wine every Monday.
You know what a great idea too to have it in a juice box, kind of. You know, it's like you almost
Mhm.
feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
They should
Fun.
serve wine and like remember. Do you remember Mondo? Is that what it was?
Yes,
called?
I loved Mondo.
So if they served wine and
Well, like the
Mondo-
plastic twist off.
Yeah.
Or
Those
like
were
the
like
little
the Kool-Aid
hugs.
ones.
Yeah,
Dude, those were legit. That was just sugar water.
straight sugar.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
so delicious.
Delicious.
Yeah,
The
that
amount
and
of
the
soda-
hoodies.
The amount of soda we drank as kids is
Dude, Matt, I was thinking
Crazy.
that like our lunch every day, 5 days a week, had either a soda, a Huggy, a Mondo, or like some kind of juice in it. So it was no water. Like we would go a whole day with no water
Yeah.
and just fucking whacking down, processed meat and cheese and, stupid Capri Suns. You know what I'm saying? Dude,
Huggies are the bottom of the barrel.
dude, Huggies.
The Huggy barrel.
If you
will.
drank too many
Not in a
Huggies, it would
party,
start to
in a
burn your
cooler.
throat. Oh,
Once everybody was deathly hungover after a party and sent me out with money to like get Gatorade or something, and I played the evil prank of just picking up a bunch of Huggies.
Oh wow!
Like all the money's worth of Huggies.
oh,
How many
wow.
Huggies did you get?
Like
Like
a
a-
pack, like a
Truckload.
yeah, probably like I don't know,
mean,
more than like 6.
You get half a ton for 40
Everybody
cents.
was very upset.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we're trying to get all this sugar out of us.
They're like, wow, thanks a lot. We have to send someone else out.
Ugh. So yeah,
It's
I
funny.
hear you. I
It's
do.
funny.
You know what, guys? Let's do this. I want to shout out a person real quick. He's a fucking hero, and his name's Justin. Because I'm gonna tell everybody now. I had already started the show and forgot to hit record, and fucking Justin fucking said hit record. And everyone who listens knows that old Uncle Matty has missed a couple records, and it's been bad,
The
right?
old lost recording.
Oh man, the lost tapes of yeah.
Not
the
since
lost
I've been
tapes-
here. Not on my watch.
No, no.
Ever vigilant. Always
Yeah.
watching.
God, I love it. God, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm like fucking hyperventilating because that was so incredible. So, all right, so let's keep it moving. Let's get back to Sausage. So, Sausage, you grew up in North Wales. You did Catholic school, St. Rose.
Of
Of
Lima.
Lima.
Very good. Dynamite drop
Hold on a
in there.
second. When you were growing up, where so you had your house, like, was it just you and your mom that lived there?
Yeah, and like one of her shitty boyfriends for a while
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
in like the first house.
So, when you were on Main Street or when you were on
Yeah.
set, okay. So then
This
after
is
you
your
left,
mom's house, or is this your mom's shitty boyfriend's house that you were living?
Oh, it's my mom's house.
in? Okay.
yeah, your mom
Oh,
ain't
it's
gonna
my
be.
mom.
She ain't gonna be no foo. Yeah, your
Mhm.
mom ain't no
Where
foo.
was your dad?
Lithuania?
At the bar. I don't know.
Oh, did he not live around North Wales?
He lived in like Norristown, maybe around then, or something. I don't know. I was too young to remember exactly, but
So you
He
never
lived-
really lived with your dad? It was
no,
always like you were with
except
your
when I
mom?
was like super young.
So
Up
it's not
until
like
like
something like-
5.
Oh, so it wasn't like, oh, so in 5 he left at 5,
I don't think he left.
or your mom kicked
It
him out,
wasn't
whatever?
working out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
but it
let's
wasn't
keep-
like you were old enough to be like oh, this is the worst day of my life or anything like that?
I mean, it happened often enough for none of them to be the worst day of my life, because there was several things I witnessed, fights and like leaving for good situations that just happened over and over.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him off, like I would go see him like on weekends or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was like fully absent, but
Yeah. Was it his idea to send you to Catholic school, or was it your mom?
no, that was mine, like mine / my mom's, because all my cousins went to
Oh,
St. Rose. All my cousins were like older, and I was like, I'm going to Katie's school. It was like my oldest cousin.
yeah.
Send me to Katie's school.
Did you like Catholic school or no?
No, going to public school is the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Yeah, Catholic school is the fucking worst. I'm
Like
agreeing with
education
you.
alone, and like
Oh.
the way I was treated for
Yeah.
being like a kid of divorced parents.
Yeah, they treat you like a gypsy.
Gypsy is like a compliment for the shit I was dealt in there by these old angry women.
Nice. So then so then kind of when you left, how old were you when you moved to 7th and Church?
Yes, 6th grade. Or 5th?
And okay.
No, 4th.
4th. All right. So then you would
Yeah.
still do a couple more years of Catholic school and then go to public school. But you had like 3 years of Catholic school living at 7th and Church, kind of, couple years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
were you
Were you
friends with
close to the school?
Does anybody hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was close to St. Rose.
Did you walk?
Probably not that. I walked from 7th and Church more than not really main. That was Catholic school, so.
Were you
Yeah.
on time?
No, never in life have I been on time for anything.
We walked to school, Matt. Were we ever on time for school?
Sometimes, but it sucked.
Your
It
school
fucking
was so
sucked.
close. Both of them, St. Stan's and LC, would have been what, less than, I mean, LC was even closer to your house.
Dude.
Did either of you go? You went to LC for at least a year, right, Matt?
I went for 3/4 of my 9th grade year and then finished my 9th grade year at Penndale. And
But LC started at 8th.
at 9th grade.
Ninth.
Oh, it started at 9th. And
Yeah,
What about you,
but-
Tom?
Yeah.
I left 3/4 through my junior year.
All right, so
But
you made it.
it's a walk. Like it was a walk. Like I mean,
around the
what was it,
corner.
Matt? 1, 2, 3.
First off,
Four,
it's
five-
like
like
five
6 blocks.
5 blocks uphill. Okay. Don't forget the uphill. Also,
Yeah.
when
It's a pain in the ass when it's 20 degrees out.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
fucking
fun.
freezing out, and you got to walk there carrying your
Or raining
backpack,
or
Dog, I had to
whatever.
walk to school every day.
dude. And same, but like, and also
So
we
do
had
we.
the same thing as you, where if it rained, you were
Yeah.
fucked because we had to walk through a field and you get fucking soaking wet. It's
We were
awful.
screwed walking through the field as it is because you have the morning dew and it was
Oh,
just you
yeah.
had wet
Oh,
shoes
yeah.
the whole day. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
worse.
it was like, okay, you could add an extra 6 blocks to your route, or you could walk through the field, and it's just like you're walking through the field. And then when it snowed, same thing. And it's not like we wore snow boots to school. We
Yeah,
had like
idiots.
our moccasins that our parents got us, you know.
Yeah,
to
our
fucking wear.
Catholic school shoes.
Yeah.
Something in Flynn.
Deer
was-
stags.
Yeah.
Stags.
Ah!
Yeah.
Reminding me of uniforms.
Yeah, it was
So it's the
awful.
way
What
you
is that?
started
At
walking.
Flynn
to
and
school?
O'Hara. Did
Flynn
anyone
and
know
O'Hara.
Flynn and
Yeah.
O'Hara.
Fuck you, Flynn
I
and
know.
O'Hara.
Flynn and O'Hara.
We
Yeah.
should do a backstory of Flynn and O'Hara.
Dude, it's a well, it's a total racket because they had a monopoly on the Catholic school uniforms game, right? Like Justin, they've almost forced you to buy Flynn and O'Hara uniforms.
Almost?
Where was it?
They
They
had
did
every
force
single
you.
uniform for
They-
like every school in the area.
Where was it?
Dude, it was a shop in like Ambler, Flynn and O'Hara. And
Okay.
everybody had to have Flynn and O'Hara, and they sold like whatever school you're at. These were the fucking, sweaters or fucking whatever collared
Get
shirts.
some Flynn and O'Hara.
You
I want
had-
I want a top shelf Flynn and O'Ara.
Yeah,
Let me
we
see
see
what they
that
got.
racket.
Yeah.
Flynn
Nice little
Flynn
golf
O'Hara
shirt.
Reserve.
Yeah. I just want a golf shirt with embroidered Flynn and O'Hara on it.
Limited edition.
Limited edition.
Man, that stuff. Ugh, awful.
Yeah, well, St. Rose had the worst uniform of everything. It's just gray,
We had the same
gray and
Oh,
navy sweaters. Everybody didn't St. Stan's have plaid.
we
Yeah,
had
Yeah, plaid is
no, we had a
sick.
plaid tie. That was it.
What about
navy blue?
skirts?
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess the girls had plaid. They
No,
had like
they
Love
had,
a
they had plaid.
jumpers.
They had plaid
Jumpers.
jumpers and skirts.
Yeah,
but
that's great.
I don't
yeah,
remember the skirts.
Yeah, the St. Rose
well,
look like
skirts
the kids.
for the older kids.
I
St.
don't think
Rose
we
is like
had skirts
funeral
till high
attire.
school.
Yeah.
'Cause I think
Like
high
straight
school was
up.
like skirts.
What did you say,
It's funny.
Justin?
St. Stan's was right across the street from North Wales Elementary, and you would see the St. Stan's kids. Like you could almost see, and they look like mental
Rose was
St.
health
Rose?
ward. Or, yeah, St. Rose. Sorry, yeah, the St. Rose kids look like mental health ward because they were
Dude.
their uniforms
Yeah.
were full gray. You'd be like,
Yeah.
are those kids all right?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
they're not.
They're not. What's this cult that they're in? What's going on here?
I mean, I don't
Really?
know. I think you guys are making Catholic school seem worse than it actually was. I mean, not
All
that
right,
it's the
teacher's
greatest
pet.
thing ever.
It's because all the
I was
teachers
not a
loved
teacher's
you.
pet.
Okay.
Everyone loves me, Matt, but that's not the thing. It wasn't as like, you know, it didn't ruin my life. You know what I mean? It was just
It
like
didn't ruin mine
kind
either.
of
It
sucked,
just
but
sucked.
I didn't go to a school that didn't kind of suck. You know what I mean? They all
Yeah,
kinda
that's
sucked.
the opposite end of it is that you just fell into a classroom with 30 kids in it, and you could decide whether or not you wanted an education in public school, like because they would
Yeah.
pass you no matter what. You know what I mean?
They're just
You
hurting
had to be-
cattle.
You had to be really, really dumb to fail out of public school.
I also I got a way better education in public school.
Oh, dude, the faculties
Art,
you had.
there is no
available-
art in Catholic school.
Oh, and
Not
like,
in a
dude, the
real way.
computers, right? Like the technology they had was fucking so far ahead of Catholic school. The amenities you had available to you in public school were incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
out
in
here
comparison.
playing Oregon Trail till I'm like 15.
Yeah,
in
wait,
Catholic
hold on.
school.
They're a fucking
What are
Carmen
the
Sandiego.
amenities you used at public school that you did not get at Catholic
Dude,
school?
If
What
oh,
amenities did you take advantage of?
dude, I was in before I got expelled.
And first of all, it's amen, a tease. Okay, amen. You know what I'm saying? Amen, a tease. Okay.
Amen to that.
Maybe why don't we call it a woman a tease? A woman titty.
Oh,
I don't know. Catholic school, you know, you learn.
I don't
some
know. It was
stuff.
all
Between all-
shit
yeah.
for me. Like I don't hate that I went, but everyone I had 1-2 friends that were actually real, and everybody else was like fake besties when I sat with them because I was hilarious, and there's no way to avoid
What grade
that
were
weren't-
you in?
have my whole life.
Fifth
My
grade?
whole life I've been
Sixth
like
grade?
the class clown. Like first, second, third, fourth. I was like
You're
getting
talking to
moved
3
around.
class clowns right now.
Well, also
You
check,
were a class
check out
clown?
at my college yearbook. I'm the class clown.
Colleges have a yearbook?
my little college.
Wait, you
My
were
little
Rachel.
college.
More
Rachel.
college? More
Rachel.
Yeah.
college?
You were a class clown.
Yeah, always. What do you mean?
Duh. It's
I
an
got
all girls.
moved.
First of all,
I got
Matt,
separated
more
my
college.
entire life.
Usually we
Moore
can
College
smell
is
our
an all
own.
girls school too. There's no guys in Moore College. It's all
Yeah.
girls school.
Usually
So,
we
she was
can
a class
smell our
clown
own
at
when
an
it comes
all-girls
to
I was
when
the
it comes
only
to
class clown there.
Yeah. So,
But so wait, you didn't have any. You didn't. There was no real people in the 5th grade at St. Rose.
No, well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody would be my best friend when we sat near each other, with assigned seats and whatever. And then otherwise in life, they talk shit on me. No one is I don't consider anyone in my grade besides my 2 friends a reputable human being.
When did you leave St.
And they're all
Rose?
just
That's Catholic
rich
school in general,
shitheads. Yeah.
When did you leave St. Rose?
6th grade.
Yep.
6th
So,
grade was
let's
No
get back to it.
reputable
was
human
deep.
being.
So
I
let's
didn't have any real friends. They were all talking shit
They're all
behind my
fake.
back. We were at recess,
Well, no,
and
'cause
you wouldn't
also-
believe the shit she was saying.
Everybody acted like they were cool with me when I left, and then I was in Pembroke and I would see these people and they'd be like literally somebody was to John Bell from because they knew each other from St. Sam's or whatever. And when I was friends with John Bell in high school, somebody was like, hey, friends with Rachel, not cool. And John Bell was like, I'm never talking to you again.
In their defense, I mean, how cool was it to be friends with you in high school? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Mean, pretty cool, I think. Everybody,
I would agree.
everybody from there is still emulating me somehow.
Yeah. So
I had a similar
Copying off
thing.
me.
I had some people that like we ran into them later, and then the one kid said to me, "You're not one of us." I was like, "What the fuck does that even mean?" I was
Thank
like,
you.
I don't really want. Okay, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
where was this at?
I was at a house party, and I mean,
Somebody said that to you at a house party.
yeah, I was like, "This
What
is
a
out of a movie."
psychopath.
I was like, "This is like out of a movie." I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I was like, "Are you for
Oh,
real?"
man.
I was like, "I was invited here. I don't know what."
They
to
probably
tell
went
you."
to St. Rose.
No, they went to Corpus. Bunch of
No.
Oh,
douchebags at Corpus.
no one is one of them. They're the
Corpus.
fucking worst.
Corpus is the biggest douches.
Talk
They're
about-
They're douchey.
Talk about
Big
empty.
Yeah.
They take the cake.
Yeah. Corpus is the
Soulless.
biggest. Douche. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Come see me, Corpus.
Corpus.
Yeah. I think we all shit on Corpus. So Justin,
Yeah.
the little Catholic school shit talking, nothing you need to worry about. So let's
Yeah.
keep it moving. So you went to public school where you would excel at pranking people with fake hair scrunchies. If you want to hear that story, it's available now on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast. It was on the End of Saga Part 3, The Next Generation. Rachel tells a story. Excellent story, right? You would then go through middle school, go through high school, but I do want to talk about this. Something we didn't get into and something that surprised me, I will say, Rach, is that you were quite the little athlete and still pretty active. So like today, you worked out before the show, right? As we can tell, what you do. Legs, I'm assuming, legs and core.
I mean, it's everything. It's the full body HIID, whatever.
Right? So legs and core.
High intensity interval training.
Very, very cool. And then, so.
And my arms, for sure.
Oh, of
I
course.
did,
duh.
I did the hardest pull-ups like successfully of my life tonight.
Good for you. That's great.
Yeah.
You're going to have Michelle Obama arms before you know it. So nice. So then I do want to talk about this. You did some cheerleading from the ages of 10 to 12. Didn't peg you as a class
it?
clown and didn't peg you as a cheerleader. But how did you like cheerleading? And were you cheerleading for Squires? Where did you cheerlead?
No, just St. Rose.
St. Rose had, I guess they did have cheerleading.
Yeah, CYO.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So how did you like
Um,
it? What'd you do?
I liked it. I maintain that I was one of the best on the team to this day.
Mhm.
Yeah,
once you get over that lack of confidence, the sky's the limit with you.
But there was only 2 other girls that were real on the team.
Yeah, everybody had bad personality. I was like a mount mostly, of course.
we all
My
Yeah.
strong bod.
The mounts,
yeah, like
the
the-
holding,
The
Okay.
throwing and the holding.
All right, you didn't want,
Which
dude. I don't know why
Or the
anyone would want to
base
be
of that.
thrown.
Yeah, base.
No,
There
why,
are mounts. I'm the base.
Whoa, why would
They're
anyone
called
want to be
mounts.
thrown? Ugh, that's just.
I mean, it seems fun. I just like continued doing it to like my cousins and my friends throughout life for like a
Anyway.
while. Just like mounting people like
And-
out of nowhere.
So you've been mounting people for a while.
Yeah.
Mm.
So any bad drops when you were a cheerleader? Any
Not
injuries?
on my account, but we did have at our like final competition, we dropped them out. Wasn't me. Yeah, it was pretty
Yikes.
rough.
Yeah.
And the daughter of the coach, I'm pretty sure it was her, and she was just like crying. Be better. Also, that coach was really mean to me once, so I have a thing.
You know what's
Glad to
you know
hear.
what? I don't think
Won't name names.
what's good is, Rich, it doesn't seem like you hold a grudge with that. You know, you let things go, you know.
People don't forget. I'll say that.
Nice. So
You
you also
I
did. So you also did some volleyball and some field hockey. How did you like volleyball and how did you like field hockey?
I love volleyball. I think I was just getting like, also my uncle became the coach, and I think I was just having some undesirable back and forth with him. Oh, he sat me out a game, and then I like stopped going.
Your
Why?
uncle?
But other than that, I love
Why did
it.
it sit you out?
I don't know. I probably wasn't.
Good.
No, I was always good, but when it came time to like switch all the spots,
Yeah, you kept trying to
Feel
mount
like
people.
yeah, I was just mounting and struggling, and I don't know what I did, but we like argued, and I was like,
Alright.
okay.
It's tough. That's
But,
tough.
I
when
mean,
your
he was
coach
probably
is
right.
related.
I respect him. I've also worked for him. Oh, I didn't even tell you that was one of my jobs.
It's funny you
I
mention that
forgot.
because we're gonna get to that in a little bit.
What
That's the weirdest one.
So I do want to talk about this before we get into your job stuff. You did some field hockey, but you also did like an arts thing. You're very involved in like the arts programs at school, especially when you got to college. And there was you befriended a certain professor. Was that right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Well, I've befriended most of my professors.
Sure.
because
You're the class clown. Everybody
I
loves
was a
the
class clown. I was
right?
also like a class problem. I was a
Oh,
class talker backer.
Whoa.
Class defending myself all
Yeah.
the time.
Yep. They're like this dirty
Um,
gypsy.
Yeah, they're like pipe down.
Yeah.
I still got like moved around and separated from people in college.
Okay.
Got my seat moved all the time in college, even.
Wow. All right. Making friends with two
I mean,
people wherever you
which
go.
one do you mean? I was like friends with some of my professors, like
So,
within
well,
my.
Eventually you
And
would
then-
hang out with a professor after like outside of school, right?
No, if you're talking about the one I was in love with, we did not hang out. I just said something about my birthday, and he gave me all these gifts on my birthday, and I was kidding. I wasn't expecting it.
Oh,
and
wow.
then he told me to buzz off. And I was like, "You're the one that bought me perfume and gave it to me in front of everyone."
Wow.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But he's gay as hell, supposedly, and I guess it was just an act of.
Just your type
Whoa.
then, huh?
Yeah, I
Sausage? Oh, no
He
wonder
is-
you liked him.
He had a side of love with me.
Yep. He
Oh,
loves
no.
he loves D and he loves sausage. What can you
Yeah.
what can you say? You
That's
fit
what I
the
think.
mold. And then also
You fell in
Yeah.
love with your gay teacher?
Yeah,
Oh. And he gave you perfume.
yeah.
Oh.
is
And
he
a
revenge
mug
cologne?
with a
Was it-
rainbow.
Was it?
No, I wish I still had it. I had it for so long. It
Here's-
was this
Yeah,
like
he gave you some
vintage.
Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Yeah.
It's like a bottle of shaped like a poodle, and you
Oh.
like take the poodle's head. So it was like ancient,
Wow.
and the perfume was like old lady perfume by that
so
time.
he bought that or he got that from his dead grandma and was like,
He got it from
"Oh."
a thrift store in Fishtown before Fishtown was cool.
Oh my God. He is so.
He's like the
Cool.
original hipster.
Yep, he's a
I remember him
total-
talking about it.
Can't wait till he
college.
hears this show.
Yeah, fan of the
So-
show for sure.
Yeah, big time fan show.
Fan of
listen
the
to
show, listen to the show.
So nice. So let's keep it moving. So I want to get into your job history. So I think we all kind of started working at a young age, right? Like 13, 14.
As soon as I could.
Yeah, like I was the same way. I kind of wanted a job because I was sick of not having money and always needing it. So how old were you when you started working, Rach?
I feel like 13 or 14.
Okay. And was your first job at Molly's Run?
I believe so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
So you were a dog walker at Molly's Run, and Molly's Run is a dog kennel. You worked there with a friend of the show and maybe one day a guest of the show, the one and only Lavelle, Crystal Ziegler. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Lift.
Lift.
Lift. Princess
Yeah.
Lift.
What is-
Chrysalipolis. Chrysalipolis turned into Lift. It used to really end with Lift.
made it okay. Wow. Okay. So then you and Krusty were there.
Mhm.
So okay. So what happened? Your dog walker at Molly's Run. How did you like it? What was your responsibilities? What'd you do?
I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just like playing with dogs. We just walk all these different sad kenneled dogs.
Could I be honest, Rachel?
Huh.
Looking at you, I see class clown. I see the gay button, right? I didn't necessarily see dog person, but I saw cat lady instantly.
Well, you hear
Right.
dog person.
I hear
Yeah.
dog person, right? But so don't worry, we've had plenty of dogs on this show. I'm one of them. So, all right. So you're working at Molly's Run. You're there with your friend Crystal, but then, and you're having a decent time. You're a dog person. Is that right, Crystal? Or sorry, is that right, Rachel? You're a dog
Amazing.
person?
Yes.
More than cats?
I think always, like as a child, in my heart of hearts, I've always been more of a dog person. I've always wanted a dog.
Yeah.
Took my mom a while to get me one.
Yeah.
So I just like wound up being. I
She was
know.
too busy trying to afford a house that you made her buy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did your
That's when
mom
I
work?
got one. Like
Her
so
mom had like a
much
million
everywhere.
jobs.
Yeah.
She was peddling newspapers. She was doing anything to try to afford this house that her daughter made her buy so she could live next to her softball friend that she ended up not being friends with because they killed her dog Pudgy. So
Mostly so I could get out of St. Rose and hang out with all my cool public school friends.
yeah, I'm with you. So okay. So you're at Molly's Run. You're working there with Crystal, fan of the show, listener of the show, hopefully future guest. And one day her brother comes to pick you up. Is that right? And this was your last day working there. Can you kind of give
Yeah.
us an idea of what happened as to
I don't
why?
really know what happened. I mean, it was so we're done, and I think we were waiting maybe a minute for him to pick us up, and like one of our like supervisors, which was some guy who I don't know what he was, like an asshole in general, I remember. But Chaz came to get us. He got out of the car, and I just remember him and this dude having this like deathly stare off. I don't know if they like had words that I didn't notice or something, but the deathly stare off happened, and then by the time me and Crystal got home, we were fired.
You had a message on your machine saying,
Yeah.
hey, don't come back and don't bring that guy with you.
It literally, the message was like, Rachel and Crystal like don't have jobs here anymore.
Okay.
What-
Like including like me and Chris, like there's some kind of strange conspiracy collusion afoot. Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah. You don't
Like-
know why you were just randomly fired because some guy came to pick you guys up.
That's kind of what it seems like.
J-Dub,
I
why do
think
you
they
she was fired?
they said something to each other. I remember they like, aside from the death stare, I think like they said some bad words to each other, but
Did Chaz take one of the dogs home?
I fucking wish.
All right. I
My
didn't know.
oh really? Is that
I don't know.
It's crazy that you say
that'd be
that.
amazing.
Like, I don't honestly, and you guys have, it's Chaz really comes up on every time we have an end up person on here or end up roundtables or whatever. He's come up like multiple times, and I only met him like a couple times, right? But from the way you guys describe him, it doesn't seem far fetched that he would attempt to steal a dog from a kennel. Is that?
I mean,
is that?
I don't. We saw him as soon as he got there. I don't see what time he would have had to.
I mean, he could have done it
Mosey in and-
another time.
Yeah.
You know.
Possibly.
Maybe they saw him and were like, "That's the guy that stole him," and he's picking up those two. girls
Did
that
these
work
guys
there.
were they their accomplice? Is that was it an inside job? Huh?
What happened to our Labradors?
I mean, me and Crystal did have labs. Only strictly like me and her all in the neighborhood just have
Apparently,
labs.
you had the most handsome chocolate lab. Is that right?
Of course.
What was its name again?
Corey,
Yep.
Sir Cornelius.
Sheer.
That's my-
Okay. Yep. Go ahead, Justin.
That was my father's name.
Really?
Cornelius. Yeah.
Really?
It's a weird fucking name.
Which father?
It's my birthed my biological father.
Okay. Not
How
the.
I've
much
never
were you
met.
getting paid?
Yeah, walk
There.
dogs.
You had to be getting under the table
Probably-
dog shit.
Probably
$6
like,
an hour.
yeah, like 7.
Cash under the table, or
25
did
or
you have to
something.
your working papers?
No, it was working papers.
Oh no shit. Good for you. That's a shitty job.
I mean, it was like fun, and I grew close to my favorite pups.
Oh.
And then, yeah,
Yeah, and then they took them all away from you.
yeah.
That's what you get when you hang with the rough crowd, with the the
Apparently.
class clown crowd. All right. That's
Yeah.
So all right, so let's keep it moving. So you left there, and then did you work again with Crystal at Perkins? Because you left there, went to Perkins, and you were a bus person. And while you were
Busboy.
busing, what happened?
Nothing really. It was just weekends only, so it was terrible and gross and crowded all the time, and a bunch of Perkins food slopping around all over my body and face and hands.
Is that the one that was near the Circuit City?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
We would
You
always
work with
like,
Armandina Severini. Do you know her?
I think Leo worked there too. Leo O'Connell.
what does the woman you're talking about look like?
Well,
She was
got
the
long
first one to
brown hair,
develop.
Italian. Yeah, she was one of the first girls to have big breasts in school.
I feel like she might have. Oh, maybe.
Either way, so
I do remember a hot Italian female.
Girl.
That's probably her.
That's probably her.
Hmm.
So there was a
Oh.
rumor at school, like we had our grade school, St. Stan's, was it was a female only teaching staff, right? So grades K through 8 was only females, right? So there was a lot of lesbian rumors floating around, and some of them we were like they're former nuns, We knew of 2 that had to be 100% lesbians, right? And there was a rumor around the one that she would love to tuck in the girls' shirts for them in gym class.
Oh, amazing move.
And one of them she loved to tuck in was old Armandina Severini.
Wow, you heard that rumor too. I mean, I was in her grade. I remember that those
rumor-
couple days, and it was like she was pissed that she had tucked her shirt in, and I remember that being like an issue. Like, oh damn, she tucked it in a little too, a little too deep of a tug. Let me
So-
tuck this in there. It's not tucked good enough.
Yeah. Really love tucking that t-shirt. I asked her to tuck in my shirt and she said, "Get the fuck away from me." But, So either way, but so you and Crystal would then leave Perkins. You quit. You just left there because you hated it. Like, did you? Do
Yeah,
like
it was just having a rough go. And it
Did
just,
you
like,
leave
happened
mid
so-
shift or did you just like not go in?
No, I think.
Did you get a voicemail
I-
that said you no longer worked there?
Yeah, every establishment called me and kicked me out. No,
Nice.
I think we both were just like, or she like was on the verge of quitting. I was like, yeah, me too.
Fuck this fucking place, man. Let's roll.
We're in these jobs together.
Nice.
Let's
So
go,
then
girl.
you would leave there, right? And
Mhm.
you would go work at a retirement home, right? Where not only you worked there, but John Joseph Bell III worked there. Your mother worked there. And our brother Alex worked there, and he was straight while he worked there. And so,
Never.
I mean, he was pretending to be straight.
Which
Mhm.
one was it on? Which one? Which
There's only one Folkways.
on? Is that the one on 7th Street in
Wasn't gonna
Lansdale?
say it, but
No,
No.
202.
Oh, the one that-
it's like
that
across
one.
from William Penn Inn.
what was the one on 7th
How
Street?
old
'Cause
were you?
That was
how
right
old
by
were you
our
when
house.
You started working there.
Normandy? No.
I guess probably 16
And you worked in the main
or 15,
Uh,
16.
like cafeteria,
Yeah, main dining.
main dining, and John Bell worked in North dining.
He worked in Abington.
Can you tell the
where
difference?
everybody goes to die?
Dude, that's what
Why
he said.
was John Bell in North and you and Alex were in the main?
I'm not sure. I think because like they had already hired a good amount of people for
And
For
so Bell
us,
was on
but-
late, and it was like, this is what we have available.
But also, I don't know. Maybe they just like because
They
me and
know.
Alex were like major personalities with the like talkative, well able old people, and that was like a different breed. And I feel like John Bell was like stressed a bit when he started, and they may have shot him up there for good.
Didn't he tell a
After
story
some
about like
struggles?
seeing a guy go into cardiac arrest while carrying a fucking thing of potatoes down the hallway?
Yeah, that checks out. I've heard that story before. It's like literally people. The one he worked at is like the bleakest, most dark, like depressing place to spend your time as a teenager.
Heaven's waiting room.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Ooh.
literally
Yikes.
puree only.
Puree only?
Yeah, they said it was like pureed food and a lot of like
A lot of
Bouillon.
gray puree.
Oh, bouillon.
Yeah, bouillon, beef.
Nice.
I
So
used,
you would work
Was-
there. Go ahead, Justin.
was-
What were you gonna say?
sorry, I used to do hospice pickup, which is the end of life treatment. So we got called to pick up the equipment. Normally the family wants it out as soon as possible. And so we show up and the family comes out and they're like, turns out not dead yet, you know? But the one daughter comes out.
Congratulations.
She like walks outside, puts it. I'm like new to the job. I've been here for like 2 weeks. I watched this lady walk outside. She puts a cig in her mouth. She lights it. She goes, give her like 20 minutes. And like,
Amazing. I wish you remembered the name of this family.
You're like, it's not quite done yet. Come back
and
in 20.
I like look at the guy I'm with, and I'm like, do we wait to what does she know when she's gonna die? I was like, do we have to take the dead person out of the bed? And he's like, no, dude, we don't touch dead people. He's like, I'll touch it. I'll touch the dead person. And I was like, fucking with him. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's the
yeah.
closest I've been to dead bodies. Sorry.
Ooh.
did a chef get fired there for watching porn?
Fuck yeah. Good
What?
good call. Good memory. He
What
also
happened?
he would walk by and like touch my body so often.
What?
Like he would like,
Where? Where would he touch
in the
you?
kitchen.
And you were
or-
underage,
so, like,
No,
right?
on your body.
So he would always like walk by and be like, skinny. he'd be like, you're looking good. I was
Oh
like,
my god!
cool,
How old
thanks.
was this guy?
Can I get
he was
some
old.
applesauce?
Like he looked like Steve Martin. Like he has like white hair from like an early, like he was like fully
Wow!
old looking.
And he got busted watching porn.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
first of all,
Drew Mangle walked by and saw his like
But dude,
window.
this
hold
is-
on, hold
but
on a
this is
second.
like-
Time out. This is pre-cell phone.
Yeah.
yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was? Did he have a VHS in? What? Where
No, it
was
was
he
a
watching
computer.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so like we could see the computer from this window in the office. And I don't know
porn? Any idea
why
what
anyone
kind
would
of porn it was?
you'll have to ask. You'll have to ask the
Damn
source.
it! I'd love to know that porn.
I'm sure he remembers, but
Yeah.
I don't.
What if it was gay and he was just putting on a
That
front?
it may have been. I don't know.
Man.
No,
Man.
I remember there was girls involved.
Oh. whoa.
Female porn.
Love it if it was like
There were
little
women
person,
on the porn.
little person.
How was
porn.
what about Mrs. Grant?
Oh, I
was
love.
she-
Oh,
Was she a little nasty?
yeah. She's mean. She's erratic. Any day could be something different. She would either be like, "Oh, thank you, my angel," or like, "Get the shit out of my face." Like, which I don't know. I can appreciate. She
Yeah.
made our days interesting.
Would you give it back to her?
No, because other times she's so, like, it's not real. She's like,
Alright.
And you
It's
loved
of
when
a
she yelled at
mental
you
state.
probably more than when
yeah,
she was nice
I
to you.
kind of
You're
like enjoyed any
yes, fuck
any
me,
of the
you're right.
outbursts,
Yeah.
especially if they weren't at me, and I would just like hear about somebody dealing with them.
Nice. So then you would end up
Wait,
leaving there.
Hold
Go
on a
ahead,
second. Hold on a
Tom.
second. And then I hear the coffee shop was the best place to work at
Fuck yeah.
Folkways. And was Ariane really too cool for the
Oh
coffee
my
shop?
god, my angel. She's the best. What was her name? That is like not her name though. It's
Is
like
it Ariane? Ariane?
It's like-
Ariane?
Was it Ariane? It's Ariane.
Ariane?
Yeah.
cool
No,
for the
she was
coffee.
just like so quiet, but like me and Alex would crack her up, and she came out of her shell. So
why was the coffee shop the best? And she always wore weird hats or something like that.
Just like every time she would dress anyway, we were like, "Whoa, look at you!"
And one more question: did you guys have a party that was catered by Folkways?
Not unofficially catered by Folkways.
Unofficially
We stole all the food that we wanted, like even ice creams, like for desserts. Turkey croquettes were, I'd say, the main event.
Dude,
yeah.
how'd you steal them?
I think we bought some stuff like that we were allowed to like buy because like all the higher ups knew we were having a Folkways party, and like we were talking about it too much. So I think we stole and bought because we would have gotten.
What were you gonna
busted.
say, Justin?
Chicken croquettes were a thing because we were poor growing up, and I remember one night me and my brother made like a stand one night, and we were like,
Amazing.
we can be poor,
They're worth
but
it.
we're not fucking eating chicken croquettes anymore. This is disgusting, and we'll start.
I love Folkways turkey croquettes.
Yeah. So
What is a
whatever
croquette?
chicken- it's just a lump of processed.
It's like a
meat,
fried
breaded
ball.
and then covered in gravy.
But
But like ours were
Yeah.
like microwave dinner style, and my mother was like trying to like pass these off for like, I don't know, what felt like a year, and we were
I
like,
think we
this
had
ends.
those. We had
today.
those too. I wanted to say
You
it was
know
like
what
a
I
chicken
hated?
cordon bleu thing. or-
Yes,
I like
it was chicken
yeah.
cordon bleu.
I like the
like
chicken cordon
croquettes.
bleu.
That is cheese and ham in it. That's a wonderful treat.
Yeah.
The chicken croquette is this bland, awful ball.
I
that's
guess the
just
ones
like-
you had. Ours
I
was
like-
I like
Folkways was
too.
pretty.
Yeah,
It
but
was
cordon bleu,
all
all right. Dude, you know what I
microwave.
hated? The fucking fish sticks. I hated when my mom would make fish sticks.
I like fish sticks.
Ugh,
I don't
hate
know.
them. Fucking hate them.
They get
Hate
old
'em.
really fast.
Yeah.
I just
so-
remembered the one my stand jdub was turkey for lunch meat. We had turkey. I mean, it must have been 6 years in a row. Every day, turkey. And I said, Mom, like one day
Ham?
we were arguing about stuff. I was like, can we get
roast
ham?
beef.
I don't know. Something
Pepperoni?
different. Pepperoni, whatever.
That's what I had to do with my mom and cheese dogs.
We-
I talked
we
to my
were
friend
just-
about it all the time. Cheese dogs every day for a month. I was like, when is this gonna stop, lady?
So we were just
Go ahead,
we were
Justin.
just sorry, we were just normal white people buying plain turkey, plain ham, plain cheese. And then one day, these fucking Ukrainian people move into my house and Lebanon bologna, chicken
Oh.
roll.
Oh.
I
like
love
all-
Lebanon bologna.
Lebanon
I don't
bologna
get it
is
often,
I-
but I
so
like
fucking
it.
good.
We've had nothing good. Like my stepdad moves in and stuff. He goes to like a real butcher and like gets it like cut. It comes in like a clear plastic bag wrapped in wax paper. Like it's not like from the grocery store. These are wild meats to me. I've never had prosciutto before. Like
Oh,
he's getting
baby.
wild shit. And I was like, I don't like that he lives here, but this lunch meat selection has gone
through the
bonkers.
roof. Yeah.
Lebanon bologna, like I remember having Lebanon bologna for the first time at like 13 and being like, what is this? This has existed the whole time at the grocery store.
Oh.
We never got
I
it.
might get some Lebanon bologna.
Dude, now that you're talking about it, haven't had it in a while.
Weird cheat, like he would never come home with American cheese and he would never come home with like ham and turkey. So like it would be, you get like the pepper, like I never had pepper jack. You ever have pimento cheese? That's the
Yeah.
olives like in it.
Yeah.
Wild shit. I'd be like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah. Who's this crazy
Lebaloney.
Ukrainian man with the massive wanger?
Well, we had the deli around the corner. So like
Yeah.
we knew what
Juliano's,
Italian
yeah.
hoagies were. We knew what stuff was, but it was just like at school lunch, my mom would just go get a couple pounds of turkey,
Yeah.
some American cheese, and that was it. And that's what we had. And it was just like day after day after day, year after, and it's like eventually we were arguing about something, and like she was like doing something. And I said, you know what? I'm sick of this turkey.
And while I'm at it,
Yeah.
the turkey.
Yeah.
Nice. So, all right. So, speaking of, let's keep moving. Why would you end up leaving Folkways?
Folkways.
How long were you there? You were there for a while, weren't you?
I think it was past high school. Like it was like
Yeah.
past graduation. I was working there into college. But yeah, I think I was in college, so I would like come back and work at Folkways.
Yeah.
And then my mom got fired and I quit in solidarity.
Why'd she get fired?
I don't really know.
She was caught
She also-
watching porn.
She was
That's
She
so
was
odd.
caught making porn. Hey. All right. So, let's keep it moving. So, you ended up leaving there and you would work in a bakery at Giants, right? You would end up
which Giant?
The one like by
Montgomery?
Target. Yeah.
okay.
Oh, I worked there.
Yeah.
When?
I don't know when. Sorry.
I feel like
For like 2 years, but it
I
was
think
in,
we would
like,
have known if it was the same
Yeah.
time. Mhm.
I'm much older than you.
You
It
worked
was
at
in
the
like
bakery?
2002.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So-
worked in the bakery, like decorating cakes
Yeah.
and preparing the
gotta,
frozen goods.
But did still work there when you worked there?
Is he who I'm thinking?
He had a big conversion
Unforgettable.
van. He had a conversion van in the parking lot and sold weed out of there. And he had a Nintendo hooked up inside the van.
Does he have a lot
he
of
was-
freckles and is like weird?
He was like a snowboarder stoner kid.
Um,
I don't
No,
know, but
It
the
sounds
shit
like
you're talking
maybe,
about
but I'm
sounds
thinking-
incredible.
He was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, he was
He had
incredible.
a conversion dog. He had a
Remember
conversion
those-
van, sold weed out of it, and
I
a
feel like I
1064 in the
recall
van.
the
it was
conversion
a
van.
regular Nintendo. But remember those vans when we were kids
Even
that had like the
Yeah.
rose seats and they had the track lighting?
Yeah.
He had that one that had the built-in TV.
Yeah.
And he had the yellow, white,
God.
and he had a regular Nintendo in there that we would spend our breaks in there.
He's like, this is what you get for working at Giant a couple of years.
There was the creepy.
You want to
dude-
make it to the deli?
Yeah.
You want to see what you get?
just real quick. The creepy dude, real tall. He was like the manager.
Are we gonna have to cut these names?
Yeah, you got to cut all this shit. Sorry.
Why is
Was
Dale
he
a
there?
friend of the show?
Just
listener of the
bleep
show?
them.
He got caught fucking one of the managers and like lost his wife, his kid, his job. My brother Dave worked there forever, and
We can
then
keep Dave in.
what's his name? Your boy who you used to wrestle with worked in the vegetable department, and they used to fucking throw food at each other every night.
Monsis?
And no, the
The
other he was-
Motzes work at Giant?
Yeah.
no, blonde haired kid. He was a wrestler. He was a year older than you. He was like
Who are
he
you-
was
who
in
are you
Sean
pointing
Day's
to?
grade. Matt, sorry.
Schoendorfer, maybe.
Frank?
Maybe that's who it
No,
was.
he was.
It
He
wasn't.
was a year older than that.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, no, he
Not
had a
Hill.
sister in my grade.
No.
I can't think of it. It was like, fuck, I can't think of the last name. I wasn't like good friends with him, but he was wild. Like I would just see like oranges flying across the store.
Was it Tex?
No,
You already caught
sorry. Yeah,
Oh damn, that's gonna drive
That's
me
it.
nuts. if
that's
can't
everyone I
think
know
of
at that
It
Giant.
was
And there
definitely a
was
wrestler. It wasn't Deary. It wasn't John
No.
Deary.
I honestly think I've blanked out like every name at Giant.
was there an old man who worked in the butcher section? Old man John. He had like gray hair, ponytail, and he drove like a Harley Davidson to work every day.
Yeah, I think I do recall that.
That's the dude I did $200 coke with.
Very nice.
Yep, that story
What
is
do you
available.
think? Does cocaine have an effect on people's wardrobes? Like how much?
I think if you do it enough, yeah.
Sure.
I feel like if
It
you're
has an
already
effect on
flamboyant
everything.
and you're starting to do more and more cocaine, it really can affect how you dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
because it gives you delusions of
Yeah.
grandeur.
like you think you're looking good. I had a guy at the bar the other. I'm standing at the bar and like I'm at the work, and I know certain people are doing certain drugs, right? And then this guy might be 48. He's got a shiny Jeff cap that matches his shoes, a belt, and I'm like, this fucking guy thinks he looks good.
He's
I'm
just like asking for someone to come up to him and be like, "Can I get
well,
some?"
I'm like, oh my God, it's clearly the guy that fucking sells Coke. You know what I mean? And I thought about it. I'm like, man, maybe it's genius because if you look around, you're like, well, that guy's the one that fucking can get me some shit. Like, and I remember being like going to college, and it was the first day of college, it was orientation, and we showed up wearing Dare shirts. And it was like, these guys want drugs. And we were like, yes, we do. And everyone
Yes,
knew,
sir.
you know what I mean? It was like a sign like, hey, drugs. Yeah, we're down.
Yeah, that stuff can. I mean, same thing with stoners, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're a stoner, you're gonna start wearing like cargo shorts and Dave Matthews fucking t-shirts. And
Professional
everybody,
wrestlers.
Let's all wear tie-dye on the same day tomorrow, which they
Yeah.
did in our grade in high school. And me and Alex and Bob were like, ugh, look at these fucking losers.
yep.
We're the real stoners.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that where you guys were in the TIS clique or?
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So let's keep it moving. So you were working at Giant, you left there, right? And then you moved to the city and you started working at the Pita Pit.
Mhm.
Pita Pit, Pita Pit, Pita Pit. Pita Pit. So do you want to say this? I guess you were dating someone at Giant in the bakery, ditched that schmoo, then went down to Pita Pit and started dating the boss at Pita Pit?
Yes. No, there was a boyfriend in between them.
Okay.
I think.
And all of these guys were gay.
No.
Where did you live? Wait, you lived down in the city. Like, where did you live?
12th and Spring Garden was my own apartment, but my dorms.
What was there like is that like a name, like a district there or something?
12th
like
and
that?
Spring
I
Garden.
mean, I think it is now. It wasn't back then at all.
No.
It was
12th
like
and Spring Garden, you're like kind of, I mean, you're not far from
It's like-
Fairmount.
soon Northern Liberties.
Yeah.
It's like next to Northern Liberties.
Yeah.
It's called something now, but
Dad's
that's
store was at 3rd
silly.
and Spring Garden.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is Delilah's. Shout out.
Fan of the show, listener of the show.
Oh, the
Mhm,
fan of
mhm.
the show. So, all right. So you worked at Pita Pit. You dated the boss there, and you would end up moving to New York with him. So he must have made one hell of a fucking pita. Am I right? Or am I right?
He did do a good pita.
He can throw together a fucking pita.
Yeah,
So
he taught me
the
most
New
of my
York
falafel
with him?
ways. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you moved to New York with Pita Pit Paulie, and God, I thought we weren't.
Or-
saying- we
I
were
mean,
not-
that's fine. He's not fan of the show, listen to the show.
all right, we can say his name. You moved to New York with old Pita Pit Pat, and you started working at and you started working at Costco. Costco.
Yeah,
And you
terrible.
had a job that literally sounds like hell. You were
It
the
is.
person that gave out samples, right?
Yeah.
And remind me if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong. You were in Harlem, right?
Yes.
And you're at the Costco in Harlem giving out free samples. How did that go?
Terrible. I hated it since I started. I did also smoked weed before going in the first time and didn't know we were getting drug tests. And then, so part of me is just like, weed's fine. She's in. Like, me and my boyfriend were like, are we gonna not get this job? But we got it.
You worked there
Um,
together?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
You just love guys you work with. Oh man.
Not anymore.
Yeah. I
How's
hope
the
not.
Harlem Costco?
It's terrifying. I mean, it's it's rough.
What
First
was
of all-
so bad? Like
Well, also I lived in Brooklyn, so it's like an hour and a half commute
what?
every day. Like plus me running and getting shin splints once I get off the train to like
That's-
make it there.
I did want to ask this. You're a big fan of sandals. I've seen it. It's weird. But what are the
What
sandals?
sandals are
What are like the
called?
Moses Jesus sandals called?
Forget, like I used to know what they were called. And they
Birkenstocks?
were no,
No, not those.
they're their own
Yeah. They're
their
like,
own rope.
isn't there one that begins with
brand.
like like a Viva or something sandal? I don't
There's
I
know.
would have
not-
started with like
they
a
were
J,
like- they
like
started-
Jordache or something like that.
No. They started as like their own like hippie thing that like wasn't even a real brand, but I think they got so popular that like everything started kind of making them. They're like
Oh.
rope sandals.
Oh,
The
I
whole
hate
thing
it.
looks like ropes.
Oh, it's the worst.
Mine were green.
Ugh.
So like the sole is rope and like
How
the
much were you paying in
straps are
rent?
rope
When you lived there.
in New York.
Yeah.
I first started paying like 7 or 6 something.
100?
A month
Yeah,
plus
With,
utilities.
like-
What would you
with like
have?
20 roommates,
All
with like
right.
1,000 horrifying roommates, aka
Were you in a house?
talk about cocaine addiction and delusions of grandeur. She's
Yo.
all a spitting example.
She is. I know. Yeah, she was bad.
I don't want
okay.
anyone to stand in the way of someone's cocaine dreams.
Ugh.
So either
you
way,
can't.
so you're living in Brooklyn. You have like 100 roommates, right? And
So
it's
you're at a
all-
hostel in Brooklyn.
What? Well, like, was it in a house, an apartment? Like, what was it?
So it's like all the apartments there are basically the same, at least like
Okay.
in my neighborhood. So it was like
So 6 people lived in there.
1, 2, 2 bedrooms, and then the basement was like finished and had 2 rooms.
Oh,
but like it's really just a fucking basement that gets flooded and gets all my shit wet every once a month, and with the biggest rat I've ever seen jumping around on my dresser. And
So you lived in the basement?
Yeah.
Man.
And then eventually I graduated. Yeah, once he left, I got the room upstairs.
Wait, you and your boyfriend didn't even share a room?
No, when he left, I like moved my room upstairs.
Okay. Once you threw him out, you're like, get the fuck out of here, guy. I'm going upstairs. Then you went upstairs.
So I really want this room.
What's that?
I really want this room. I think it's time we break up.
Yeah, smart.
Just kidding.
So you're right. So okay. So then you lived there with like, how many people live there? 6?
1, 2, me. I guess it was. So it was me, my boyfriend, the person we just mentioned, and another unmentionable.
So 4 people.
So 4.
In one bathroom you guys shared?
There was one downstairs in the basement.
Half or
so
full?
That's fun. Half.
Half. So 1.5 bathrooms, 4 people in basically like what, like 500 square feet, if that?
The house is not like small, but it, it's like tight when there's a bunch of riffraff going on in there.
Yeah. So then, okay.
Small shared living space.
So you would leave Costco, you would move upstairs, you would be an independent woman, and then you started working at a health food store that doesn't exist anymore. And the reason it doesn't exist is because the guy that owned it didn't do a good job of running it.
2 brothers.
2 brothers. So how did it go? What was the deal? What's the deal with this health food store? What was so good about it?
I mean, they did have good. It was like a less glorified Whole Foods, like a mom and pop Whole Food, but like not mom. I won't say that, but like that vibe, and they were good at it, and it was in. It was in a good area, kind of, but I don't know. I always thought I was doing fine, and then I like heard that they were like talking shit about me to my friend who got me the job, and then I just probably started showing up like kind of miserable. Yeah, I would watch them like get in fights with their girlfriend all the time. I would have to take calls and like. With all these people that they owed money. And I remember once they're like, yeah, they treat me over there. And I was like, oh, not great.
So you weren't there. You weren't there that long.
They were like EDM loving bros.
So, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yikes. So then,
more delusions of grandeur.
So then.
Theme of the episode.
Yeah. How about it? So then you would leave there, right? And you would be a vintage store clerk, right? And you basically ran the whole store for the owner, right?
I mean, only on days that I worked. So did other people. Like whenever we're working, it's like they're not there because they're out buying clothes that are worth a penny and like marking them up to $1 bazillion all day. And
would people buy that?
Yeah, it's like a known store. I'm pretty sure like Macklemore like filmed some of that stupid thrift store video there.
What? It's that famous?
It's like people know about, like, if you are like looking, if you are an avid like New York vintage shopper, like most people know about it. There's one in the West Village, and there's one in East Village.
So that's a thing, like an avid vintage New York clothing person?
Yeah, of course. People
Jesus, how the fuck did I not know that? Wow,
Well, there's plenty of people, like even anywhere. I feel like there's certain people that like only strictly go thrifting.
I understand the thrifting, but I don't I was understanding going to a thrift store, but this person, it isn't a thrift store. They're going to the thrift store and then marking it up like $1 million.
That's the owner.
Vintage, right?
It's like not even vintage. If it's like close to a good brand, they're like, this is a good story. No. Like sweaters are like $70 just if they're like.
And they're all used. Nothing's new.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it better be fucking Versace. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, people is in Williamsburg, which is like the biggest
Is that in Brooklyn?
Biggest place for people that want to spend money on bullshit.
So
It's there.
that's
wait,
in
like-
Brooklyn, Williamsburg?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
When
Go ahead,
you
Tom.
so you like your whole life, right? It seems like you're like into art and like, you're doing like classes at North Penn, and then you go to Moore where you get your degree and like it's art, right? Everything's like kind of like I know you're always into photography and stuff like that, right? And then you move to New York and you're working at did you move to New York to try to like do something with your art, or
Yeah.
so what were you trying
But
to
I
do?
didn't realize how like impossible. I think I should have stayed in Philadelphia longer because I was doing well. Like
What
in
were you trying to
art.
do?
I wanted to like in my dreams, wanted to like have some kind of any little space and make it just like a thing, like a gallery
Oh, I see.
to whatever I see fit. But that would include paying rent for another thing in addition to my rent, and it never really took off that idea. I didn't like know.
Would it have been
how hard-
photography, or would it have been like, painting or drawing?
I mean,
or-
I kind of graduated doing not one thing, which is like why I remain confused in life about my creative endeavors, because I don't think I want to be like a photographer anymore. I don't know. I graduated doing like installations, so I would just like have a space and just fill it with like drawings, photos, videos, sculptures, like
Like a
anything that I
collage?
would have worked on. No, like
Yeah.
hanging, like I made a googly eye beaded curtain. It was like one of my favorite things I've ever made.
Is it
And,
a
like,
shower curtain?
No,
So
like
would
a
you want
beaded
your
curtain,
space
but
to
googly
be
eyes.
the googly eye beaded curtain is like how you get in, and then there's like weird, crazy stuff like, maybe
Yeah,
just
that
different.
You
could
just
be
wanted
one
like
show.
a
That could
gallery
be
to
one
show your
show.
artwork, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
and
long
it-
would the shows last?
Till she
I don't know,
felt
probably
like
like a
it.
month or something.
A
Yeah, if it
month
was
would
up to
be
me, it'd be
good.
like whenever I felt like. I was still showing, like I was like getting shows there.
I would
But
say like a
then-
seasonal show would be good, like every kind of like
Wait,
spring, summer, winter.
So
fall.
wait, when you were in Philly, you were doing the seasonal shows, or were
They're
you in
not
New York?
seasonal, like you like know about
All right.
shows and you
Right.
apply
So
to them.
where were you?
I
Doing
had
the
a
shows at?
gallery in Philadelphia.
Oh, you did.
Like I had, me and my friends from college all bought or rented like an apartment, and like one of my friends lived there, and we used the downstairs as like a gallery and had like events, and it worked well with like getting us written up a good
Where at?
amount. It was in like Kensington when no one was there. Like there was no foot traffic was the issue. So it wasn't cool yet.
Kensington's cool.
I mean, it
I
is-
know where it was is like cool now.
Kensington next to Fishtown is getting better, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
near Fishtown, but Kensington.
I mean, it was still
K&A
like
K&A
it was
is not
near.
cool.
It was near Fishtown. It was like closer end of Fishtown.
Yeah.
So is that what you would want to do now? Is that what you would like if you could do something as like?
I mean,
these
if I had an
spaces?
unexpendable amount of money, I'm sure I would do something like that. I've kind of lost the dream of like the art world in general
Hmm.
because that's like in New York, I was showing, and then like the girl who was rich enough to have her space.
You were trying to
would-
get like a corner or something like that?
No, she like blatantly copied off me. And that's like what it takes. Like you have to like, it depends. It literally like depends who you sleep with. It literally like depends on like what you're
What?
dealing
The
with.
politics
in
in
person.
the art game are that
It's all
bad.
bullshit. That's why so much art is so bad.
You know what?
Because
You
you're
know
just
what?
like
This is all
looking at these
tying
lucky
back.
people who will have enough money to like show something somewhere, even if
Right.
it's bullshit.
This
Yep.
sounds a lot like the fucking karaoke competitions right now. You know what? It's who you're sleeping with in the karaoke
It sounds
competition.
honestly, it reminds me of
Yeah, and
Catholic
I'm not-
school. It's
I'm
more
not
like those
fucking
two
for
people,
benefits.
There's two people that are cool, and
You're
everyone
winning.
else
Get
is
it.
bullshit.
You're winning. You would do anything
Yeah.
for love. Is Paradise by the Dashboard Light the greatest karaoke song of all time or the worst karaoke song of all time?
I mean, we already discussed this in episode blah, 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 blah. But
Available on
I
all
think it's the
platforms.
greatest. Yeah, available.
I think it's the worst. I think it's the worst one.
Yeah,
ever.
well-
especially when a couple does it together, it's like.
I haven't done it with my lover yet. But I've done it by myself and with other people, and it's always a banger.
We're talking about
20-minute
karaoke.
banger.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, an 8-minute banger.
So let's keep it
Too
moving
long.
then. So you would end up getting a couple things from this store before you left. Is that right?
Yeah,
And then
as
why-
we all do, as
Right.
all employees do,
Sure. And then why would you end up leaving this job?
because I got my first good dream job.
And what were you doing? Like, what was this first good dream job?
I was just color correcting many images throughout the day, but it was like my first
But it was
job that suited my degree, you know?
yeah. So like you're putting your art degree to work, you're becoming a color corrector, right? For a fashion trend forecasting company, right? And
Yes.
you learned like what kind of things did you learn on this job? Like you're doing like photo correction, right? For like magazine photos and things like that. Like what does a color corrector kind of do?
Well, I just had to make sure all the colors were correct because so many photos were taken by non-photographers.
Oh, okay. So like you're saying like
So I had to color the shit out. Like there was like reflections,
okay.
and it's all a product of like something being shot on a bad camera, and I just have to fix it with like more yellow and more like blue.
Oh, so you would kind of edit and filter the photos, kind of?
Yeah,
Okay.
Before-
Like a human,
filters
you're a human
existed.
filterer.
before Instagram existed.
Right. So okay, and you were doing this on like a computer software then. What year was
Yeah.
this around?
Started working there 2013, like the beginning of 2013, I think. No, I don't know, 2012. I just know that I left it like right before the new year, like October 2015,
Yeah.
16. I don't know.
So
When did I move?
okay. So then you did like a lot of good things here and you got like a couple skills that will help you later on, as we'll talk about. But a personal problem kind of, you had a personal issue with some of the people you were living with. And then you're like, I got to get the hell out of Dodge.
Mhm.
Are you cool to talk about the personal problem or are we not talking about that?
I can talk about it a little.
If you don't
I
want
could
to,
I could say what it is.
go
My
ahead.
best friend of my life, 12 years, just started blatantly plotting to date my boyfriend that we all lived with. We all lived together, and they started finagling around behind my back, however they did, or that I know or don't know, but probably fans of the show, listen to the show. Maybe they're together, maybe they're not. I don't know.
It's cold.
So then you break up with your boyfriend, then your best friend starts dating your boyfriend, right?
Immediately.
Then you all live together.
Were you broken up when that happened?
She told me to kick him out if I'm so mad, and then spend every day that he was out with him,
Wow.
like playing darts. We're gonna go play darts, and I was like, cool. I'm just gonna cry and like maybe kill myself tonight.
Wow.
I'll just be in my newly alone room crying alone while you guys play darts.
Wow.
Was it Peter Pat?
No,
Oh.
it's literally the last boyfriend I had before this one that I have now that I just acquired because I've been so traumatized.
Yep.
Acquired.
Yep.
You
Good.
acquired
I've
your
acquired my
boyfriend.
new boyfriend.
I caught him in a park like a Pokemon.
No,
Yeah.
You will be mine.
Good
I'm
thing.
slow and
yeah,
steady.
No damages going into this one.
I have earned my boyfriend.
So nice. So you would end up ditching that whole scene and you would move to the city of lights, the city that never sleeps, the city by the bay, the windy city. I'm talking about Denver, Colorado.
Very false. Steamboat Springs is 3 hours from anywhere that's like ever mentioned in Colorado.
You would end up moving to Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
I've been to Denver to hang out probably like thrice in my whole time there, or like once a year.
So you moved to Steamboat Springs, and from what you made it sound like, your life there was quite the challenge. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
why did you move there?
Because the mountains
She
were
was
calling and I must
heartbroken.
go.
Who was
Yeah,
calling? You
She was
just were like
heartbroken.
woke
The
up one
mountains
day
were
and you're like, I'm
calling.
going to fucking Silver Spring. Like
you
someone
woke
goes
up one
there.
day, saw a
My
Coors
friend-
Light beer can, and was like,
Yeah,
"Hey
like,
guys,
what?
I'm coming."
My friend had kind of like just moved there and was like bragging about life there all the time. And I was going through this like true quarter life crisis.
Sure.
And I had
Go
already fantasized about mountain living, like the first time I ever went out west, like
Rocky
on a
Mountain
trip.
High.
Yeah, I wanted to like live out in the
Great
middle
song.
of nowhere.
Great song.
And that I did. And they're like, I think I have a room opening up soon. And I was like, cool, I'm coming.
Okay.
I-
Love
Colorado,
it.
Rocky Mountain High.
I like,
love
didn't
that
even
song.
know. I thought I was moving to Denver as well. Like I didn't even know
Karaoke
anything
song.
about it before I got there. And I was telling people like, yeah, I'm gonna be in a city. Like it's fine. My life's gonna be normal. It's not a city.
What is the
It's like,
population?
it's like
of
a
Steamboat
tiny
Springs?
enclave in the Rockies. I don't know. Let me look it up. It's
How
little.
long did you live
You
there?
don't have to look it up.
I
So
want to know.
okay, so
850.
it was a tiny thing, right? It was a tiny place, right? While you're there, though, you had a friend that was there. So when you guys move out there, you had an idea of like
Guy or
what-
girl?
it was a guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't like a romantic thing, right?
No,
You guys were just
Not
friends.
at all.
So you go out there, and initially your
Did he
idea,
want it to be romantic?
that's kind of the vibe I started getting
No shit.
as I was into it.
yeah,
Shocker.
Mad at me for hanging out with anyone. And I was like, I've
yeah,
been friends, just trying to make some.
yeah.
He wanted you to come out there and
So
Steamboat
okay.
population 12,928.
Rachel,
Oh, God,
you
I was
say
hoping you were saying 12. I was
12 people.
hoping you would say 12.
wait 12,900, so 12,000 people.
928.
All right, so around 13,000, right? And you're saying you didn't like this boy being protective, but secretly you absolutely fucking loved it, right? And
No,
you
it's-
didn't love that some guy was pining over you and that he didn't
Fuck
want
no,
any other
'cause I
guys
didn't-
to talk to you.
No, I didn't think he was like pining over me at all. He was just like, it was weird, like, just like, because I've known him for a long time and it was just like jealousy shit, like that I wasn't giving all my, it wasn't pining. He had a girlfriend when I moved out there.
Oh.
And then to my dismay, they broke up like very soon after.
Oh,
He was just like-
I don't believe it.
Just working all the time, and then I have to hoof it up this hill in the snow to get home. So I'll probably
So-
stop for a drink somewhere first.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So you're in Steamboat Springs, you and your friend, you're initially out there, right? And your
Yeah.
first idea as a job was to grow some marijuana.
Yeah,
And how did that
That's-
go? I'm kidding, Rachel.
it
I'm
just
kidding.
seemed like I don't like the way he wanted us to be like a quadrant more than we were, and
Yeah.
I just was in no place for that, and I made that clear before coming out. I
Oh,
was like, I'm like in the deepest depression of my life, and I'm not trying to make friends out there. I'm like trying to like whatever. I'm just trying to like live in mountains in peace.
yep.
So,
So
So
you
you're in
tried.
the deep depression. Who are you like? Do you just sit in your room by yourself? Like what's going on with your like?
What do you
how
mean? I was
cope
working
with
all
that?
the time.
Oh, so you just
Did
worked
you
all
use the
time.
work to like combat the depression?
Well, I needed the money to live in this horrifically expensive resort town that I wasn't really aware of
Oh shit.
being
He
the
didn't tell
case
you.
either.
He didn't tell
Not
you
really,
how.
not enough, because he was just like excited about me coming out there and didn't tell me how fucking hard it is to live there.
So okay. So you try to grow weed, that goes tits up, right?
Yeah.
Then you went to print production, right?
Yeah.
And
It's like the only like one of the 3 real jobs you can get out there.
so it was the toughest job. You had to walk there, and you would end
No,
up.
that wasn't the toughest job.
Oh, it was
The amount that I worked was the toughest.
Okay, so it was a tough job,
Everything.
right? You would end up walking there and getting trench foot. Is that right?
I walked everywhere and got trench foot.
Yikes!
What is
Like
trench foot?
every job that I had out there,
Did
I
you-
would have to walk down this ginormous mountain hill because I lived on like one of the highest hills in town, and the
Oh.
buses would like barely go up there. So I'd
Oh.
walk down to the bus stop, but I would walk on this trail where like moose ran rampant. And I never had good shoes up until like before I left.
So yeah, you're wearing the sandals that were made of rope.
Yeah, I was wearing
Yeah.
rope sandals in the snow.
How
and Doc
like
Martens.
how strong were your legs though living there? Like the strongest they were ever?
Pretty, yeah. I mean, I snowboarded and I was just like walking like that all the time. And I also biked my single speed up said hill,
Yeah.
which was like unheard of.
Yeah.
Like people that like knew me around town would be like, I saw you biking up Fish Creek Road. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, we call that the devil's backbone.
Yeah,
How the
they're
fuck
like,
did you
they're
do
like,
that?
people, pretty impressed that you're doing that.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Nice. Okay. So then what is
Was
the
it a
print
beautiful
production?
area though?
Yeah,
It sounds like it
it's
was
so
pretty-
beautiful. So like it was very hard, but no regrets because it's like the most beautiful. Pulling out of Walmart is like the best view of my life. Like the mountains are all right there, and it's like it's
Nice.
just untouchable looks out there.
Good deal. So
Cotton
Okay.
candy skies,
yeah,
Cotton candy sky.
cotton candy skies, champagne powder.
So what is the print production job? What was that? What did that entail? What were you doing?
I don't know, like any sign for like realtor signs that they
Oh, I
stick
see.
in yards, or
Yeah.
just like posters for like events,
Okay.
business cards,
Yeah.
brochures and such, you know,
And-
photos sometimes.
And how long did you live there?
I guess like 3 years, I think.
3 years you were
Yeah.
there. You were hoofing it up and down hills, biking up and down hills. 3 years working for print production, trying to grow.
Yeah, but I was
leads to
also
work.
a barista most of it.
And a barista. Yep.
Nicest barista in Steamboat, what they said behind my back as a joke.
Nicest barista in Steamboat.
Yeah.
And they were being facetious. You would give
I
them.
would-
You would give them
I
some of
don't
that
believe it.
New York
I-
style that you
Yeah,
picked up.
I brought a real East Coast energy, I guess, that
Yeah.
nobody could handle.
You're like, here's your fucking coffee. I don't care if
Kind
your
of.
fucking morning's good. My name's fuck you. Now get going. Yeah.
People would come in and be like, I'd be like, okay, and I was always like still drunk from the night because I had to work at like 6 a.m,
Sure.
and then I would be done work at a certain time where I'm like, I have all these tips. I'm going out and getting burger, and picture marks. So me and my friends did. So we did.
Surprising
So, yeah,
that
it's
you
like a
didn't sleep
party
with anyone
town.
when you were out there.
I mean, not anyone, but
Years.
very not often, and only
Yep,
few.
just twice a week. So,
Oh,
all right. It was a joke. Jesus, they were all gay.
A total of like 3 people.
Oh my God. All right. We didn't need to fucking know. So, after 3 years of trench foot, barista,
One guy a year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
One for
right?
every
Yeah.
year.
None of them were your roommate. So
No,
after three,
absolutely not.
After-
Oh, poor
a-
guy.
yeah, he had to
Poor blind Joe.
he had to listen to you fucking get, whatever. So either way, after 3 years of hoofing it all around town, living the life, baristing it up in Steamboat Springs, happiest barista, you would end up coming back to the
I was
land
gonna
of the
look up.
free, the home of the brave, the best place in the world, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, right?
Fuck yeah.
And then you would end up being a hostess at a dance bar. Now, really, really curious, what is a dance bar? Because when I hear of a dance bar, certain things come to mind.
It's
What-
not like a dance bar in movies. It's like a dance bar for
Like a topless
kids in
dance bar?
college. No.
Oh, gotcha.
A nightclub.
Yeah, a nightclub.
So why
There
didn't you
you
say nightclub?
Yeah, dance club sounds like a shaky.
Because
but
they
this is a strip
called
club.
it. It's like called the dance bar.
Oh, so they're
That's what they-
douchebags.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so
correct.
We won't
oh,
call it a club.
Oh,
Kids don't
wait.
want to go to the clubs anymore. We'll
So-
call it a dance bar.
But the dance
Let's
bar,
throw a
it
ball
was-
pit in here.
Yeah, they had a ball pit, right? So weren't
Yeah.
you in charge of the ball pit? And wasn't it the worst thing ever?
That
Yes.
sounds disgusting.
It
That
is
sounds
disgusting.
absolutely
And the amount of
disgusting.
people that don't even like consider it being disgusting with the
Oh.
passion and
Oh.
fervor that they like utilize trying to get in. You tell them like, hey, it's gonna be like 20 minutes, and these people will give you like, people will be like, I'll give you $100 to like get me in now for 5 minutes to
What
get
do
in
you
this
even
like
do?
literally it's like for the gram. You know,
just
like
lay
people
there?
just do it. People like jump in, like so many girls wear short dresses and like their boobs fall out and and you have to take off your
Where's this place
shoes.
again?
It's on 16th and Market.
I'm kidding.
I'm like totally.
My kid has a like, you know, we go to places and like every time they have like a ball
Ugh.
pit or a bounce house, I'm like, this is disgusting. I mean,
Yeah.
these
Well,
are
yeah.
absolute-
I mean,
Dude, bounce
How does one
pre-COVID,
clean
I
a
think they
ball
just
pit?
brought it back. It got cleaned every week,
How?
but once there was like some machine that you put all the balls in,
Stall
And it,
this
like,
gram.
Shit.
cleans them and shoots them back in.
Once a
What-
week.
Wild.
Yeah,
What? Wait.
but it also was only open on weekends.
Oh, I see.
So
Wait, the place was or the ball pit was?
the place.
It was only open on weekends?
No,
All right. So, okay. So you were there, you're fucking yelling at people for losing their phones in the ball pit and
people are
telling.
yelling at me too.
So wait, when they would
Mm.
clean it once a week, how many cell phones did you find in there?
I don't know. I wasn't around for that, but like usually, like we have people fill out a form when they lose their cell phone,
Oh,
which just
wow.
means like, hey, I chose not to listen to what you told me, and I chose to handle my cell phone in this way and drop it in the fucking ball pit like a drunk retard, like
Oh.
everyone all the time. And I'd be like, "Are
Oh.
you sure? Are you sure you're gonna
Oh.
like hold it?"
Oh, it
And
would
people
make-
are just
I
like
would-
crying at the end of the night, and I would be like, "Shouldn't you have listened?"
Oh,
Remember what I told
God.
you earlier?
Ugh. Oh my God. I can't even imagine. I would be so
Yeah, it's like the worst type of customer interaction there. Like, because I had to like hold people's stuff in bins, like keys, cell phone, and then people would be like, "Are you gonna? Can I really leave this with you?" And I'm like, "I'm getting paid to do like this is my job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want your ugly Coach bag that every other girl has on this planet.
Wow.
Like, no, thank you."
Wow. Shout out, Coach, fan of the show, listener of the show. What the fuck?
My mom's babe. I mean, I have a Coach bag, but vintage.
Yeah. My wife loves Coach.
Vintage only.
I have a coach bag.
Yeah.
I use it. My kid plays soccer and I'm the coach of the team.
We all have Coach bags.
Either way. All right. So let's keep it moving. So then you would leave.
Shout out Coach.
Yeah, you're leaving Stan's Bar, and then you would go to, and Pete has brought this place up. You would be a bartender at Parks on Tap. So Pete brought this place up. Pete is a self-proclaimed foodie, and he loved when the weather's nice. Parks on
foodie.
Tap
Give me a
opens up like it's almost like picnic drop spots, kind of like outdoor like restaurant kind of things in like
Yeah.
different areas. So you would just be hit up to be like, hey, we're doing Parks on Tap. Come over here. You'll bartend. How was it? Like, how did it go?
I mean, that was only existing through the summer. Like it would
Yeah.
start in like May and
Was it
only
on
go
Wednesdays?
till like
Was that on Wednesdays?
Wednesday to Sunday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, it's just every park in the city, or like
Yeah.
everyone, we can work it out to go fully set up in every week. And
Why do
Did
you
you-
always do that?
Did you make
Because-
good money?
Oh
that's
my
like,
God.
because that's like the bitch part of it, like that we have to put out all this crap and move it around all the time.
Is that your cell phone sausage?
It's my computer,
Oh.
like my texts are coming in.
All right. Can you just silence it?
By the way,
Mm.
Pete, a foodie, He doesn't even put like lettuce and tomato on a sandwich. He
He's
can't
a
even do that.
he's a self-proclaimed foodie. Okay. Do you think you've eaten more food than him?
More types of food.
Have you eaten more food than Pete McCormick? Yes or no?
More types of food.
Who knows? Maybe he's eaten more types than you.
No, he hasn't.
You don't
I've
know
eaten
that.
more types of food than Pete McCormick.
He's probably eaten more types of lunch meat.
volume. I
than you've
I
eaten
can't
types of
say,
food.
but I've eaten a lot of volume, and I have a couple years on him too. So I might have eaten more food than Pete
There's
McCormick.
No way. You had to cut weight for wrestling, and he never did. There you go.
Like
That's years off your fucking eat.
It is a 4-year period of my life where I did not.
There you go. There you go. And you're only 2 years older than him. So technically now he's 2 years up on you. So there you go.
I have
I still think I ate more types of food.
Dang.
I could put a good I've probably had like 75% of all the cheesesteaks in Philadelphia.
Really?
I've had all of the cheesesteaks. I've been up to nonsense for years inside of Philadelphia and have had I've had most of the cheesesteaks.
You got one, any that stick out?
I mean, Steve's is my favorite by far. Even
Steve's
though it
Prince
is
of
like
Steaks on Bustleton?
Yeah, it's
Are you fucking
I swear
kidding
to
me?
God, it's the best place in the whole city.
Oh,
It has
so
a good roll, it has
overrated.
good
It's
meat, and it has
so
it uses
overrated.
craft cheese whiz. Like I have a list of places that use craft cheese whiz, but they don't have better like roller steak. Because like craft cheese whiz top of the creme for your whiz.
I hate Whiz.
Sure. This is coming from a guy who prefers puffed over crunchy
Yeah.
Cheetos.
Yeah, my opinion doesn't matter. I used to go and that and like all the fast food burger places. Like I like went on this string of like getting as high as I humanly could. Like when Dabs first came out, remember like when
Oh,
Dabs
God.
became popular, I would rip Dabs and go get fast food like Five Guys, Smash Burger, Jack's Way Back. I like tried them all like
Yeah.
as high as you humanly could. And like Elevation Burger's the best.
It's a lot of work.
Never had elevation. I mean, but
The
I'm a
best.
Chick-fil-A guy if I do fast food. Chick-fil-A all the way, all day. every
Popeye's
day.
chicken sandwich. It's
I haven't
bonkers.
had it. And
So fucking
wait,
good.
Oh
what
my God.
chicken sandwich?
You gotta go to
Popeyes.
You gotta go to
Popeyes.
you gotta go to a Popeyes that has
Oh
a
my
drive-through in the suburbs or Indian Run. Can't be in the hood.
Popeye the Suler man.
You gotta go to a good
Popeyes in
Popeyes.
Brooklyn.
But you get the chicken
Biscuit.
sandwich with the blackened ranch. Ooh, it's a wonderful treat. They got
All
the
right.
shiny bun. You won't be disappointed.
I'll have to take your
Pickle
word on it.
too.
All right, I'll do that. I'll have a compare. I'll do a Chick-fil-A sandwich with the Chick-fil-A sauce, best sauce going. And then I'll do whatever fucking Popeyes you're talking about.
Popeyes.
Popeyes. Okay.
Popeyes.
If you can eat it in your car, I'm about it.
Yeah, that's not a bad trait to have when it comes to sandwich. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So you left Parks on Tap, right? And now you're at your current position where you're a retouching artist, right? So you're kind of like a photo editor or a photo editor, right? For a well-known TV channel. We won't say which one. And I mean, dude, good on you, Sausage. I mean, you've been up and down and all over the roads. You dated almost every guy you've worked with, and like you fucking landed a job that you went to school for. Do you like what you do?
Yeah.
You like your job, right?
Still doing
which
it right
which
now.
which we've found is one of the the number one things we found with people that are happy and successful is that they actually like the job that they're doing, right? And you feel like you do a good job at it and you like doing it. I mean, there can't be anything better than that. So can you give us kind of the rundown of like what does a retouching artist do, and then what is a day in the life like for you as a retouching artist? Go ahead.
Well, my whole team of like probably 8 or something people. We all
female.
no,
Okay,
I mean probably more
sure.
than male, but
Right.
we each have a whole shit ton of stuff that falls on us that we each do a different, we call them cues every
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
So like one day I'll be on projects, which is
Okay.
like the more involved, and that's like stuff that's on like the homepage and
Okay.
like on TV.
Uh-huh.
And then there's extended assortment, which is like a bunch of ugly vendor images that we just lay out all day and load.
Okay.
There's like so many of them. And then I don't know, it's a lot of like bullshit and stuff that I don't like, that is with most any job, I feel, just like
Yeah.
loading and cropping and file stuff. It's a lot of that.
Oh,
but
the
I
storage is the worst.
yeah, I don't know. I like editing in general, so
Yeah, I don't
it
mind
is
it.
a job that I like.
What the big pain in the ass is like learning the software, but once you get that down and then you find out like what kind of capabilities it has, and you start learning like how to expand on what you're editing and like the different little tricks you can throw in and things like that, it is kind of fun. You know
Well,
what
yeah,
I mean?
I mean, I thought I knew Photoshop before this, like from college, but the way I know it now is like a whole
Yeah.
other ball game.
I just have to Google all that stuff when I'm like, hey, how do I do this? How do I put?
Yeah, but even that is like so daunting because
Oh,
it's like
it's
a
the worst.
never-ending vat of information,
Yeah.
and there's like 100 ways to do everything.
Yeah. No, there's
So-
no definite, it sucks. No, I'm with you. And I mean, I don't even use Photoshop because I have a Windows computer, so I have to use GIMP. But yeah,
Woo!
yeah. No.
Gimp.
I had GIMP.
GIMP,
I had GIMP
GIMP.
once.
GIMP
Is
and
that what you
Phil-
had in Colorado from walking up and down? You had GIMP?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with GIMP.
They called you Gimpy. All right. So, well, Sausage, happy to hear that you're enjoying your current, profession, and that you're loving what you're doing, and that you're hanging out with your lover, as you said, and that you're going out and you're karaokeing your heart out on the weekends, and you just joined a bowling league. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was excited. Last night I got 4 strikes in a row.
Hell
Hot
yeah.
diggity
In the
damn.
final, like what is it, the 10th, whatever.
Frame?
The
Frame?
Yeah,
frame.
and I got
Okay.
3, and I had gotten 1 before that.
What?
Nice. How did
I
it
really like Roy Munson it up.
go? You're bigger than McCracken.
Yeah,
Well, I was gonna say a month. You don't want a month in it.
I know, but he's the true winner.
I mean,
So,
bigger than McCracken. Can't miss a little bigger than McCracken. What
I started watching that last night. So
It's a great movie. Great movie.
Who you calling a
Absolute-
psycho?
Absolutely
That's
great.
the best part.
It is.
Who you call a psycho? That was so good.
So, is there any way, Sausage, before we get out of here, are you able to do your Bane voice?
Oh, actually, you should have told me I have a mask that my friend got me as a joke.
You have a real one?
I don't think it's a Bane mask. It's just like this weird looking Bane-ish
Like-
mask.
Did
Would
get
you be
mad?
willing? Would you be willing to give us a foray, a show?
Yeah, hold on. Let me think of my favorite lines. Hold on. Let me tap in.
Tap
To the-
in, absorb the
darkness.
character, absorb the character. You don't have to tap in. You were born in it.
Yeah, that's true.
All you gotta do is.
Oh yeah, here. I'm ready. Hold
Okay,
on.
ready?
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
What should I break first? Your spirit or your body? That's a great part. Are you not agreeing with my Bane voice?
I like it.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
that great. I don't think it's that
Or your
great.
body? It
I
was
got
when
off.
it came out.
Yeah, when it
When it came out, I was the best Bane impersonator.
I don't think you chose a bad line. I don't know if that's a great impersonation.
What? Shut up.
When,
What is the other one like? You first.
That's good.
when that movie first came out, I loved it and thought it was the funniest fucking thing in the world, and we get hammered and do it all the time.
I
And
know.
You'd be
Me
like,
too.
you owe me $25, otherwise we can't get drugs. You think
Nice.
darkness is your ally?
I
Oh,
was
I-
born in it.
It's
I was
nonsense.
born in it.
Everyone loved it.
You were made by darkness. I was born in it. Yeah, not a bad show. So very cool. So awesome. Well, good. Glad to hear you're doing well in bowling and karaokeing and with your lover, and your Bane voice is still there. Happy to hear all that. I know that we're usually on the same page with this, Justin, and we have you booked to be on the Poppin' Sausage, but I think we would all agree that we would love it if you'd be willing to come back on the Tuesday show as a guest.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
No, I
would
mean,
you love to
yeah.
come back as a guest again?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
All right, good. We'd love to have you. So we're coming to the top of time. Sausage, before we get out of here, is there anything you would want to say to the legions of your adoring fans before we take off?
You first. Just kidding. Let's see. If I can do it, you can do it.
Sausage.
If I can do it, you can do it. I don't know.
If I can
think of that.
change,
If I
you
can
can change.
Rocky
Everybody
go through all the
change.
terrible
House of
things in my
Golden.
life.
Yeah. No, all right. Great word. Thank you, Sausage. Very uplifting. Tom, before we get out of here, anything you want to say to the legions of your fans before we Audi 5000?
No, I don't know. Have a great rest of your week.
Oh.
And I would say, Matt, I am terrific, but I think I need a better like, terrific Tom. I feel like there's something more we could do better with my introduction. That's
Tremendous.
I mean, I'm all ears.
Terrific. I'm
love
tremendous.
solutions, hate complaints. So I'm all ears whenever you have a solution.
Yeah, don't bring me your problems.
Wow.
Nice.
Attacked.
Wow.
Attacked all the ways.
You're not good to make your nickname unless you're John Bell.
Yeah, I can't make my own nickname, but just terrific. I mean,
We can't call
Turned
you
down Tom this time around.
we could go with we can't call you Salami because I'm Kid Salami.
Doesn't have to be now. Just food for thought.
Yep. We can call you Tourette's Tom.
What?
T-Bone.
T-Bone.
T-Bone Tom. Yeah. You got a bunch of nicknames at the bar, don't you?
Yeah. Peloton.
Oh, that's so good.
That was pretty good.
I have a shirt, Peloton.
Very nice.
They call me, what's the other one? Hoops. Hooper.
Hoops?
Dreams.
Hoops from like the movie?
No, not from the
Hoops
summer
from
movie.
that show with Public Enemy's Flavor Flav. Remember the one character was Hoops?
No, I think it's Hooper. Hooper. Is Hooper the guy from Jaws? Is that his name?
Could be.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hooper.
Like a
that.
doll's eyes.
Yeah. We're
I do
gonna
love
need a
Jaws.
bigger boat. Nice. All right. Well, we'll work on your nickname, Tom.
Work on
We'll
it.
see. We'll talk. We'll chop it up on. Maybe we can come up. We'll ask. You know what? We'll ask Liam. He's great at nicknames.
Yeah.
And we'll also ask Steve
Liam will take
Cabot,
care of it.
and he's great at yelling things. So, we could get a nickname. We can get it yelled really well. So either way, Jalen. Anything
See
you want to
that?
say?
Do you see what I'm talking about? Literally, do you see what he gets? And I get, oh, it's Tom, terrific.
Look at him.
He's been
taking a while to get here.
Jalen. He's been jdub forever.
I know, but I'd almost rather Jerkbeard. I mean, what,
All
where did
right.
I go to
Yo.
Tom, terrific?
You didn't like Jerkbeard before. Now you like Jerkbeard?
I didn't say I liked Jerkbeard or didn't like it before. It's just, I was like, when did it change?
I think
When
it's
did I
the
become terrific?
enthusiasm in which you say it is what he's looking for.
Wow.
No, you know what? I don't want anything, Matt. Keep doing what you're doing. Forget it. You're
I just want to
fine.
say
It's
that
fine.
it's fine. I just want to say that I find it very interesting when people live in multiple places. It builds character. I think it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I think if you've lived in your hometown your whole life, you never know what's out there. You never live
True.
in Podunk, fucking Colorado.
Thank you. That's kind of what I was like going for in life.
It's cool.
But I'm
I always
done
find it
also.
interesting.
Nice.
I'm
There's
also,
also when-
done moving around.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Justin.
and then you end up back here at the end, and you're like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
experienced
not
which
what I was
places.
expecting, but
I don't know.
Into
She'll go
it.
to like a crepe shop and find Chris Crepe Maker, and next thing you know, she'll be living-
Cray shop.
Chrissy,
Sam
Chrissy
Cheyenne.
Crepes.
Chrissy Crepes.
Nice. Yeah. And then also shout out to Mozambique. Always.
Yeah, you could always end up in Mozambique.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out. Fan of
that's
the show.
fine.
Listener to the show. Justin crushes in the
Huge
Mozambique
demographic.
crushes. So nice. Well, very good. Thank you for that, Justin. Well, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by jdub, Justin Richardson, the tenacious Tom Lavelle, Sausage Rachael Ocelus, and you can find all our content and all our stuff on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. You can handle us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast, and you can join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest in the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And for the love of God, please just like and subscribe so my wife leaves me hell alone about doing the show. This has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. Thanks for listening. Stick around for the ad read. Thanks. See ya.
Do you have a message or a story inside of you that you've been waiting to tell? Have you always dreamed of writing a book but are intimidated by the complexities of the book publishing world? Perhaps you want to use a book to launch your public speaking or consulting career. If so, please reach out to Scott and Bell Publishing, located right here in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Scott and Bell Publishing handle all genres and authors with all experience levels. Scott and Bell Publishing gives authors 100% creative freedom and a higher royalty split. They can be found at www.skotbell.com. That's www.s as in Sam, K as in kite, O as in October, T as in Tom, B as in boy, E as in Edward, L as in Larry, L as in Larry.com. That's Scott and Bell Publishing, where the authors go.